Hello, beautiful people. Mic check, mic check. It's so bizarre. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages. Hello, beautiful people. It's good to see you. Hit the like button, share the live. Chris with a K, Goldie, King Link. Thank you very much. Because, baby, I ain't been here. I ain't been here. I have been let's see, when was Christmas Day? Thursday? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I've been in bed since Friday. I've been in bed since Friday. Yep. And Dara John, hello, beautiful. Hello to the UK. I have been in bed. Yeah, I've been in bed since Friday. I can't even front, gang. I have been sleeping. I wasn't feeling well Friday and Saturday, so Friday and Saturday I was pretty much out. Um but aside from the times where I've been wholly unconscious, I have been a vegetable. I've been in a vegetative movie watching, show binging, game playing, TikTok scrolling, kikiing in the chat, kikiing with my friends, vegetative state. Oh man, it just felt like Friday. I mean, I'm still dealing with a bunch of bullshit, but it just felt like Christmas was, the end of a long race before a final sprint, but you get a little rest period in between, you know? So I think on Friday, my whole body was just like, we gonna shut it down, gang. We gonna shut it down. Yeah, nothing matters, nothing's important. Go to bed. So I did. I did. Yeah, yeah. But in about 48 hours, I got to gear up for my sprint. I feel like everybody has an end of the year, beginning of the year sprint, and I've got mine. So yeah, I did a little bit of. Oh, this is beautiful. Thank you so much. Y'all make sure you use them. Okay, renew them if you haven't. Um, yeah, so I made some phone calls today to make sure I'm sprinting, right? I'm sprinting. Don't have me show up. Don't have me show up to the track 5 o'clock in the morning and the race is canceled. No, no, no. We need to confirm everybody. Everybody. Okay, good, good, good. See you motherfuckers at the finish line. So, yeah. Um, I was trying to decide, am I gonna get in a scripted video before uh the end of the year? I don't think so. That's tomorrow. But if I was going to do a scripted video before the end of the year, which I started to jot some notes on, it would be this and more. This and more. These are just the things that very easily came to mind. I'm sure you all will have your own thoughts on the folks who took the biggest L's. A. Appreciate you. Thank you. Y'all use them up. Use them up. Hit them up. Hit them up. But yeah, if I was gonna make a scripted video, it would be about these biscuit heads and more. Let's see, what do we got here? Drake. Album pulled from release. I think that's a bigger L in some ways than the biggest L he took this year, which was his lawsuit was thrown out. But it's like the Spider-Man and the Marvel movies, right? It's like the sequence of events matters. Like one thing had to happen first so that a bigger thing could happen. Like the lawsuit had to happen. The lawsuit being thrown out had to happen. The album. Rapidude 10 days later. It's shocking. Aubrey Drake Graham had an album for release. Pushed it. Had a lead up. Didn't go well. Didn't go well at all. Had drops. Didn't go well. Opened a warehouse, gang. Let's not forget the pooper scooper. For all the dogs pooper scoopers, who can forget that? Shout out to everybody who's watching. Hit the like button, share the live. We're starting off big. Do we Good to see you, beautiful. Highland Girl Jam down. He is an L. Abrisha. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. L is for lawsuits. Right. Right. Yes. As a matter of fact, an update on, remember the guy who sued Steak and Drake? And what's his name? Aiden. I kept wanting to say Alvin of the fucking chipmunk, which I don't like to refer to him as a chipmunk or Jerry because I love chipmunks. I love them and they're so intelligent. It's not fair to call him a chipmunk, but it's out there in the culture, right? The culture refers to him as either Jerry or the chipmunk. So when it's still happening. I can see Aiden's whole face in my head, but the only thing that's coming up is Alvin. Okay. So, let me God, so many. I have so many cases. I have so many cases. Okay. So that case has moved from from, Missouri State, okay? This was a case filed at the state level that has moved from the state level to the federal level, which makes it super easy for me, to follow because I've already added an alert. The docket hasn't populated yet, um, but yeah, it's moved up to federal court. But yes, anyway, Drakey Poo. Drakey Poo is taking the biggest L's. I wonder, do y'all think, because this was a whole winter theme he had going on, right? The Iceman, we saw the visual of him, you know, covered in frost. It's dangerous, as anybody will tell you. In a puffer jacket. Remember that? We got a visual. Do we still think that this album is coming out this winter? When's the last time, because I don't pay attention unless it's on the docket when it comes to Drake. When's the last time y'all heard about Drake in the news? I don't even care if it was like a burst of gossip. Demetrius says, so by February? Nope, I don't think it's coming out. Nisha Falk, nope. No, I think this is a little bit different, but okay. Hope not. Yeah, TikTok, TikTok. Through me or out there in the world? Who knows? Hi, beautiful. Just the randomest shit. Retiring, something about a Marvel collab. Okay, skipping DJ. Got it. Oh, he's setting up a studio in a strip club in Houston. I mean, I guess you gotta meet your victims where they are, you know? And that's a double play for him. So I guess he really likes those odds. It's either the women in the club or the niggas who think they can rap who are also in the club. Isn't that special? I mean, again, you have to think of what's the natural residual from this scenario? Who's at the strip club? Men and women. Women are stripping, men are doing whatever, and you get enough liquor in them, and at least a third of them think they can rap. And half of that group probably cut something on their home studio at one point in time. Yeah. Red Lotus Diva. I foresee no problems with this strip club scenario. Nope, nothing problematic at all. You want an entirely Drakeless 2026? Well, baby, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. Okay? That ain't gonna happen. Again, is the album gonna come out, bro? Is the album gonna come out before the end of winter? Did we not just hit the solstice? Like, from that point on, days getting shorter. Knees weak, arms heavy, something, 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 mom spaghetti. Ah. Yeah, he hasn't done anything with regards to this album since people said, "We don't like this rollout you got going on. What is going on over here? What did I just listen to? What did I just see?" Demetrius, this rollout has been 2 videos and 10 delays. King Link says, "Probably spring." Huh? Yeah, buddy. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, this is what, I'm thinking about. I mean, it should work in the first quarter too to help cover the label for 2026, but dropping it this year is supposed to help the label with 2025. That's what fourth quarter drops are for record labels. For a solid fourth quarter drop from an A-list artist is gonna cover the quarter, and it's gonna go back some into the year and help you cover some of that too. He gonna drop it tomorrow, just surprise album. Maybe he just decided, fuck it, I'm not no more pre-release stuff. But that would be weird. It just seems like he in general, maybe I'm wrong, because again, I don't pay attention, but it seems like I haven't seen a Drake antic headline, like Drake was on stream with such and such, or Drake posted blah, blah, blah to Instagram, or Drake liked, such and such's post on X. I haven't heard. It feels like he has been quiet. I mean, they're a subsidiary of UMG, so it's not hard. It's not hard. Hey, beautiful. I don't even know. Drop, 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 nigga, drop. Well, well, well. Nigga's an idiot. I'm sorry. How long ago was that? This sounds like an inappropriate Playgirl spread or something. Huh. Okay. Well, yeah. The L's keep a rolling. We're going to continue to discuss Drake because, as a matter of fact, let me check. One more. Okay. Let me check one more Drake docket before we move on. Jesus. My list is long, gang. There it is. There's nothing on the docket since they had their court-ordered mediation 2 weeks ago. But, it's the holidays. I can attest from having to deal with this bullshit here that courts and court-related things are difficult to schedule this time of year. And even when you think they're scheduled, they're not really. They're not really. But yeah, we're going to continue to talk about Drake and his L's in 2026 because he, is filing his appeal on Drake v. UMG and he's being sued by everybody. So I think that's only going to continue. Yeah. He's so childish. I mean, just really immature. Really, really immature. That's some freshman shit right there. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. And I'm glad that the stake lawsuit has gone I think I said Spotify earlier, but I meant to say stake. The stake lawsuit has gone, well, one of them has gone federal from state, so that's great. He is extraordinarily cringe because he's so immature. All right, let's move on. I've got Sydney Sweeney in this image, but Sydney Sweeney is really representative of just white women on the internet taking all the L's for being racist pieces of shit. Boy, if TikTok introduced me to nothing else, it introduced me to the genre of white women being exposed for being racist. Karen at another level. Nurse Karens, there were a lot of nurse Karens who got exposed. Not before inflicting severe bodily harm in hospitals against Black women, and sometimes their unborn children. But boy, oh boy, did the internet call a spade a spade. White women got the white women I saw get doxxed this year and immediately lose their jobs. The conservative white women who started off the year talking mad shit to all the libs All the lazy libs, all the government handout libs who was happy every time brown people got kidnapped off the street. They promised to get rid of Obamacare. They halted SNAP benefits. Then realize, oh, my special needs child is screwed. Oh, I'm screwed. I have a health condition. My insurance is about to go up 700%. I can't afford that. What's going on? What do you mean, what's going on, Becky Ann? Ask and you shall receive. My child's teacher didn't show up to work today. They think that she was detained by ICE. We love her, really. She taught my other two children, really. I didn't realize the grave that I was digging could be for me. All of her movies fell apart. Everything she touched fell apart. Nobody wanted to hear a word from her, and nobody believed her when she finally came out and said, obviously, like, guys, I'm against hate. No, you're not. You're the poster child for eugenics. And you let that happen. You were perfectly content with sitting back and letting that happen. A curse on both your fucking houses till the day you die. Karen 3.0's exposed. Crazy work. We had a whole freaking, we had several conversations about Taylor, and we had also the fantastic Mr. Foxwell on Conversations for the Culture to talk about, the lyrics, the necklace, the all of the things. The all of the things. I chose not to put her on here and put fried chicken and her husband, Patrick Mahomes, on here instead, because Brittany Mahomes is real buddy with the family that owns the Chiefs. And their daughter, who looks exactly like Brittany Mahomes, by the way, exactly fucking like her. Their daughter came out and said she wants the alt-right halftime show. She doesn't want the Bad Bunny halftime show. She wants she didn't say it, but she was liking posts all over social media, making it very obvious where she stood on the matter. And they were already faltering before then, but from that day forward, it was a major L. Couldn't have happened to a better team, a more deserving team. They all needed to experience. No fairy tale. No fairy tale scripts for you. Nope, you will not be at the Super Bowl. Nope, your fiance Taylor Swift will not be at the Super Bowl. Ah, man, gorgeous. Just it's so good. You taste it? It's so fucking good. Well, certainly not everybody because we weren't talking about it here and I didn't even know about it. But thanks for the update. We've moved on. That's exactly what I said. Nicole Robbins said, well, good thing they're not going to the Super Bowl because now she doesn't have to watch it. That's exactly what I said. Yep. Yep. That's exactly what I said. They all need to just sit down and be quiet. And then when Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL, I said, oh my God. Wow. That's a definitive. Not only are you not going to the Super Bowl, but boy, you ain't playing. Wow. Hallelujah. Fly, Eagles, fly. My Seahawks are doing the damn thing. Oh. Yeah. It's been really great. It's been really, really, really great. We talked about Drake already. Now we're talking about white women. White women took major L's this year. I mean, just profound L's. Just straight up, you're racist L's. You're racist. Everybody can see it. Everybody's going to call it out. L's. They clocked Taylor Swift so succinctly that Rolling Stone had the audacity, I do believe it was Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone had the audacity to come out and say that, we haven't talked about this yet, so this is perfect timing. It was a bot driven attack on Taylor Swift. And I was as livid at that as I was at Drake saying bots made Not Like Us go. Because how fucking dare you? Because I was literally live on the internet, not with y'all, but I was on the internet the morning that it started. And it was some of the most reputable Swifties who were like, beg your pardon, one moment, please. Point of order. What the fuck is this? Now, am I saying they started it? No, but that's who I saw early in the discourse. There are some times where I'm literally online when the thing kicks off. And I'll see one post and it's like, okay, because I keep ungodly hours. And then, a couple hours later, or even a couple days later, it's going. So now we know that we knew that Taylor knew, but now we know that panicked Taylor, but it's insulting. And it leaves a mark, a stain on her reputation, no pun. It leaves a mark that you gonna chalk that up to, oh, this is a concerted bot attack and nobody actually really believed it. Bitch, how fucking dare you insult people's intelligence that way just because you want to be a fucking airhead? Like the white privilege to be able to just, it's bots. No, the fuck it wasn't. It was intelligent, educated, subject matter experts around the world. So it really wouldn't matter if bots were involved or not. It really wouldn't matter. Would not matter. Subject matter experts from around the world analyze that necklace. The end. But the legacy cover, because that's what it is. It's a legacy cover. It's what is the narrative sequence of events when somebody in the future is looking back on it? "Oh my god, they said her necklace was a Nazi symbol, and oh, it was bots." No, 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 no. That might do you favors in the future, it don't do you no fucking favors right now. But she's Taylor Swift, so she can buy a major publication, promise them, features and sit downs and exclusives, and you can have a wedding photo or whatever the hell it was that had that album. We've analyzed this, that, and the other and found I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to, it's irrelevant, basically. It's irrelevant. Bots are not more important than experts. But she's the only one who has that much power to try and just cast a facade in front of the whole thing so that when people glance at it, it looks a certain way. Meanwhile, we're behind the facade and we can see we were there. We lived it in real time. We know exactly what happened, just like Drake and Kendrick. I was just like, these motherfuckers in there, it was bots. You shut up. It's so disrespectful. And that's the thing. While she's been focused on girlifying herself, a lot of her an entire generation of her fans, she's a multi-generation artist, but an entire generation of her fans has grown up in the real world. We've got good bullshit detectors. I shouldn't say we because I'm not a fan. And it's crazy to me that I'd never listened to it. Of all the ones that I finally picked to listen to, this was the one that I finally picked to listen to. And boy, howdy, it was a doozy from beginning to end. Oh, God. And they didn't, uh, uh, certainly there were, I'm not saying that there were not any fans of hers that defended her or weren't in the camp, right? Because there's always a camp. But again, the Swifties that I saw, because even though I don't really pay attention to Taylor, I can't think of the accounts names in my mind. But there are two Swifties that I have followed for a little over a year, probably 2 years actually, now that I think about it. Um, because they're Swifties. That's the only reason why I follow them, because they're my little window into, they're fully grown adults, right? They're well into their 30s. One of them is a professional out of the home, and the other is a professional in the home. And they love Taylor Swift, but they're rational women. So I was like, they're good barometers. Anytime they would come up in my timeline in general before then, I would just notice and be like, huh, interesting take. They don't seem crazy. That's cool. And finally I was like, I'm gonna follow them. Um, my point is that when the media came out and was like, this was a concerted bot attack to, attack Taylor Swift's character, and it was never a real thing, which is bullshit. Um, the people that I saw that are fans of Taylor's weren't like, oh, well, guess we were wrong. They were like, I beg your fucking pardon. We are over here. We've been having serious conversations about this for weeks. For weeks. We've been having serious conversations about this. And now you got the nerve to tell us. Sorry. Um, that we don't know what we're talking about, or we're not real people, or that wasn't a real thing. You're crazy. You're truly crazy. Oh, yeah, I'm not dealing with that right now. Sorry. I mean, they're stands, but they have sense. You know, I don't know where you draw the line with stan. I guess if you consider a stan to be somebody who is just an irrational fan who it doesn't matter what the person does, then I guess they're not stans, but they are Swifties for sure. They still love and listen to Taylor, but they don't like the album. They think it's problematic, and they seem to just be clocking it, clocking her behavior. That's a good way of putting it. That's a really good way of putting it. I'm gonna check something real quick. Okay. Oh, you know who I forgot to put on here is Nicki Minaj. Speaking of stands, I forgot to put Nicki Minaj on here. Damn it. Nicki, 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 Nicki. She lost her house. And, you know, she found her calling as a white supremacist pedophile defender. Wow. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah. Tori is another one. Yep. Yeah, she had a bad year. She had a bad year. It seems like ever since September, I'm gonna say about September 2024 is when they announced who was gonna be performing the Super Bowl halftime show. I'm pretty sure that's when she careened, you know, careened just all the way off the tracks. All the way off the tracks. She was already speeding out of control. Damn. Damn. Captain Save a Pedo. Wow. Okay, we gonna talk about this. Is this the deportation petition for Nikki? Is that what you're talking about? Because some things are just indefensible and you sound like a jackass. So I think they really got drowned out, and I think some people just decided I think for the people who decided that they you know, our fans and don't care. I think they read the room at least and decided they weren't going to say anything. They're just not gonna, I'm not gonna defend her, not gonna jump up and identify myself, etc. High key true. High key true. Because she's been in meltdown mode pretty much ever since. Oh man. Oh, this is another good one to have on the list. I did not watch that shit, but I saw photos and I saw that white woman dressed like Beyonce. I saw that white woman dressed like Beyonce, and my reaction was to internally cuss out Snoop Dogg. That was my internal reaction. I saw that picture of that white woman dressed like Beyonce. The first thing that came into my mind was, "Who the fuck is that?" And then the second thing that came into my mind was, "Fuck you. Fuck you. What are you doing?" Hey, beautiful. Good to see you. So, I don't know because I didn't watch it and I'm not gonna watch it because I love myself. I'm not gonna do that to myself, but the was it the Christmas Day halftime show that Snoop was a part of? Yes. It was Snoop and a couple other artists. One of them was a white country singer, and if I recall correctly, she had bleachers like Beyoncé or risers like Beyoncé, and she was basically dressed like Beyoncé. She was in head to toe white cowgirl outfit, chaps, the whole fucking bit. I saw that picture and I don't know who she was. So again, my internal reaction was, "Who the fuck is that?" And then, "Fuck you, Snoop. How fucking dare you? How occupy space with okay. I see you. I see you. I ain't one bit surprised, but again, the audacity of white people, and that's another white woman who got called out right away because the internet's immediate reaction was, "Who is this Harpo? Who this woman dressed like Beyonce? Who this woman dressed like Beyonce? What is going on right now?" He's a hoe. He played an event. It's been fuck Snoop for a year-long minute. Yeah, true. I don't know who the white woman was. Lord, let's get a visual. No, that's not it. Oh god, it makes me so angry. It makes me so angry. Oh my god. You know what it is that pisses me off about this photo aside from the fact that oh, I guess she doesn't have chaps on. Aside from the fact that this white woman is dressed like Beyonce, it's the risers for me that really pisses me off because how you going to look like her and steal her stage? You dusty, unbuttered, dry, crumbly biscuit. see how they got the black marching band aspect up there at the top? I was like, these motherfuckers, these motherfuckers is so rude. I'm mad. Look at it. Look at it. 1 year later, this what you do? Snoop dressed like the whole fucking devil. I said what I said. Wow, Matty Warhol. Y'all chill. That's his master. You are. I think it's distinctly possible, yes. It's like a shitty adaptation of a beloved film. Like wearing white to a wedding. Absolutely cringe. Abso-fucking-lutely cringe. Calvin is such a disappointment. He is a huge disappointment. Wow. NK White. That's Snoop co-signing that shit in Mary Jane's Code? Oh, man. I just look at it. Yeah, she got so perfectly clowned on the internet immediately. I probably wouldn't have heard a peep about this show if this white woman hadn't tried to pull a Beyonce. Hello, beautiful. I am offended by everything. I'm offended by it all. It's all terrible. I'm trying to see if there's no, that's the best worst. Oh, wait, what's this? Hold on. Oh, no, I can't use that. Okay, damn. So yeah, Snoop also took and generated L's. He took the L's, he generated the L's. Oh, hold on. I got one more for you. I got one more for you because the way I would tell this woman, this is a mall performer, okay? This is somebody who is performing in the mall and she's trying to engage passersby who don't want anything to do with her because the way I would tell this white woman to get the fuck out of my face. Just imagine for yourself what this photo sounds like. I don't know. I don't even know her name, but imagine for yourselves what this sounds like. Absolutely not. No. No, 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 no. Hello, beautiful. Welcome. Subscribe. It's good to have you. This guy back here is killing me. The guy in the back is killing me. She's just sitting on, who is he? She's just sitting on his lap. And why does he have on a black hat and brown gloves? Somebody sedate me. I'm about to lose it. She is dressed up like Beyonce. I told you. Why is he wearing a black hat and brown gloves? I am angry. I am so angry. Hold on. I just saw this woman's name and then I blew right past it because I didn't care. Let me see if I can find it again. Lainey Wilson. That's her name. It was Snoop Dogg, some K-pop singers, and Lainey Wilson. Who is this white man whose lap she's sitting on? The hat sent me. And the hat, I'm just like, it looks like it has a helmet in it. Yeah. 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 You know, when you go to the fair and you're too small for anything past donkey or pony, you haven't graduated to horse yet, and they give you a helmet mandatory, and it looks like a cowboy hat, but there's actually a helmet in there. That's what her shit looks like. That hat is horrible. Horrible. He has a nice hat. His gloves are brown. I'm fucking thrilled. Why doesn't he have a beard? Why is he wearing a turtleneck that doesn't match the fringe on the jacket? And again, imagine what is coming out of this mouth towards you in the mall. Oh, Harpo, who this woman? I can't stand it. Can't stand it. Hey, Brown, he looks awfully smug about his shit outfit. He really does. He's all into the camera. Her eyes are slightly crossed, but I don't know. That hat is just floating around her head. It's so bad. Now we're not going, let's not offend yodeling. Yodeling is number one really hard. So we're not gonna go after yodeling, but that's not yodeling. She looks like she has spandex on. And then like this multi-belt buckle thing going up. That's another thing that pissed me off too, because Beyonce has a multi-belt buckle outfit on the Cowboy Carter tour. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'm obsessed with the costumes of Renaissance and Cowboy Carter. I was just like, this is tacky. This is tacky. This is another L for white women. Another L for white women. I saw white women apologizing on social media. White women who were Beyonce fans who were like, We don't know what that was. We saw it, we clocked it, it's unacceptable. Just a nightmare. Just a nightmare. I just don't think as a performer, I just don't think walk with me. I'm just thinking about, because I don't know, I didn't watch it, but let's say they entered on the sleigh. Remember, it's a sleigh. Where'd he go? He's not there anymore. I don't know. He got out and went somewhere, but it's a sleigh. So I just don't think that you could pay me to do that. That's not the optic that I want. I don't need to ride in on a man's lap. I mean, it's a family show, so certainly not riding in on a man's lap during the football game. But in general, I make my own independent entrance. Thank you very much. Come in on a sleigh and still did not slay. I mean, there are laps, right? There are laps. There are laps where you could pay me. You could pay me. You really could pay me. But this ain't one of them. I'm so annoyed by his hat, turtleneck, glove situation. Trash. Absolutely. Just trash. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, if we're performing together, we can come in together, but I don't think that is going to be the kind of entrance that I would want to make at any point in time. If I am on your lap during a performance and you are my significant other, people about to see us simulate some nasty shit. No, 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 no. That's the only. So, yeah, white women and Snoop. L's, 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 L's. Snoop just said, "Let me show up and coon and get paid." So pathetic. It is so pathetic. And quite honestly, I mean, I don't want to take anything away from these people who got an opportunity to perform maybe on the biggest stage they've ever performed on, everybody who's in the background, right? I don't want to take anything away from any of these people having their moment. But I hope we are coming to a place where we no longer indulge the black choir or the black band behind the white artist. It's gross, and it's inauthentic. Well, we want that spiritual sound. Well, you don't give a fuck about the spirit or the body of the people that the sound comes from. No. Genius. Genius. I'm over it. I'm over it. If you don't live your life as an ally to Black people, stop mooching off of us. Stop mooching off of us. But yeah, this is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. I said this is not. I just it doesn't give voice of an angel vibes. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't give voice of an angel vibes. I know I said I only had one more, but there's one more. This is another one where I'm like, I'm not convinced that you can sing. Which is so horrible, but it's so true. I mean, they chose her for a reason. She's probably real popular and whatnot. But again, no. Ma'am, why are all your photos horrible? Horrible. I'm so sick of Snoop. God. I'm so sick of him. Also, rehearsal, right? Your dress rehearsal is supposed to be when you get all of your glamour shots. In the event, your live photos don't get what you want to get and make sure is released to the public. Beyonce, Beyonce, Beyonce. It's given evangelical's wife. And the evangelical dude's wife is the leader of the choir, and she always has the Christmas solo every year. God. Well, so there was racist white women, and then she don't need to be doing all that. For real, for real. Not the Tammy Baker look. Did Tammy sing? I don't think Tammy sang. I thought she just sat there as the good first lady of the church, sometimes got up and read something or something and before she really got into the TV thing, and then it was Yeah, just horrible. So yeah, we had white women taking the L. And then there was Charlie Kirk. Wow, what a day that was. There was a before and after. Charlie Kirk is a marker in time. There was a before that, and we're in the after. of that, but I the sequence of events leading up to the bullet, unreal, unreal. Your wife has turned the tent you were murdered in into a traveling show where people can take photos of themselves. Hello, beautiful. Yeah, we've moved on to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk took the biggest L, but it's the circumstances in which he took that L. It's not just the fact that he was at his own event. It's literally in the finite exchange that he was having at the moment that he was nearly headless nicked in front of thousands of people. Live streamed. I just that day was bonkers. That day was bonkers. I just think about the people who called me that day where I was like, "These are the didn't expect to hear from you about this. Didn't expect to hear from you about this." I mean, it was a real, real marker. And, far right folks have been in a meltdown ever since, declaring war and promising murder and retribution and retaliation and Charlie Kirk Day and Charlie Kirk Medal and blah, 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 blah. But Charlie Kirk took the biggest L. He died. He died. Unbelievable. White on white crime, boy. White on white crime. Uh, I don't even yeah. Wow. Wow. And now he's just it's so interesting how people were quick, quick to jump up and say, you know, "We're all Charlie Kirk," or, "That's our Dr. King," or, you know, I agreed with some of his all of the things, a lot of people exposing themselves, a lot of celebrities exposing themselves. Christian Chenoweth also took major L's this year. Um, but there were proclamations and there were threats and there were literal, you know, digital lynch mobs out there getting people fired from their jobs for posting about Charlie Kirk, cracking jokes, whatever it was that they said or did. Um, and within 2 weeks, it's pretty much Charlie Kirk is an afterthought for these people. And they've been falling apart ever since, you know? Erica Kirk's job is to stand at the podium, be composed, contrive emotion from time to time, you know, just basically keep going, keep going, keep going. But the way the far right has fallen apart, in no small thanks to Candace Owens spinning every batshit conspiracy theory she can come up with, outing people, posting communications, really breaking down just how manipulated the right is on issues like Israel. That, you know, what they were trying to do in the immediate aftermath of his death was turn it into a net gain, and it's a net loss all the way around. Your figurehead is gone. His wife is not a replacement. The people who liked him don't like the other figureheads on the far right, so they're not gonna follow them. They're not gonna listen to what they say, so there's a void. And now they're all, I mean, they didn't like each other before, but they're really beefing with each other now. Els. Yes. Candace versus Ben versus Tucker. Then there's Nick Fuentes. So he'll never be forgotten. Charlie Kirk will never be forgotten, but he's a pawn. He doesn't mean anything to any of these people at the end of the day. And Candace, there are a lot of people who are like, Candace Owens is the only one who loved him. Fuck that shit. She's playing with that man's name too. Playing. Candace Owens hasn't really exposed anything. She's just spinning out bullshit and then will leak stuff that is tangentially related to it to keep people on the hook. But she has given out really nothing of consequence except to expose them on Israel. But that just is knowledge for us. It hasn't deterred what they're doing. Tucker Carlson felt the way that he felt before this. He's continuing to do what he was doing before this. So nothing has really, there was no net gain for them that they tried so hard to contrive. And they will only bring him up out of convenience. But he's a pawn. Just a pawn. She's already been spent. That's why don't nobody fuck with her. She's been everywhere and don't nobody fuck with her. That's why she has her own show. But her peers, she's still, I said the word, you heard it. Hard R. She's still a hard R at the end of the day. And she knows it. She will never be one of them because it's impossible. No matter what white supremacist rhetoric comes out of her mouth, you're still a hard R. It hasn't. It hasn't. The infighting has not died down. The media just isn't talking about it anymore because the president is a pedophile. Called priorities. So I guess we can move on to the next L, which is Donald John Trump. I don't think anybody has taken a bigger L this year than Donald. And it came in right at the end of the year, you know? It came in right at the end of the year. This man raped 13-year-olds. There are 10 to 20 co-conspirators. Their photos are in the Epstein files. They've been redacted. There are photos of Donald and Ghislaine that we've never seen before that are in the files that have been redacted, that they've had for years. And they're just biding time. They're obstructing justice, and they are just biding time to the inevitable. 2026 is going to be a terrible year for him. He's probably going to be impeached because this stuff is gonna come out. If it doesn't come out, people are gonna riot. But there's gonna be lawsuits, there's gonna be challenges. People are gonna have to go into court and say, "Listen, this document right here in the Epstein files purports to have this information in it, and per the law we passed, it should be public information." They served warrants on much, if not all, of the co-conspirators at some point in time, subpoenas. So it is, a house on quicksand, and it is going to crumble and sink. And they're just putting off the inevitable. And when I tell you that people are really, really angry at Pam Bondi, I didn't get out of bed, but I know that there has been at least one conversation, serious conversation, about whether or not a state should charge Pam Bondi criminally. Because when a federal employee violates federal law, it's the feds that investigate and prosecute. It's the Department of Justice. That's not an option. She's the head of the Department of Justice. But she does not have immunity in her job. No cabinet member does. Would it be a real hard fight? It certainly would. Would they have to have concrete evidence? Yeah, they would. They'd have to have a whistleblower who gave them something like a communication between Pam Bondi and the president where they're clearly scheming to obstruct the release of these files. But a state could charge Pam Bondi with criminal obstruction of justice and other things and prosecute her. Now, it would probably become a federal prosecution because if a state charged her at the state level with criminal, let's just say obstruction of justice, the government's response is to file a motion, well, 1,000 motions to get it dismissed. But one of the things that they would challenge is venue. They would say it's a federal employee. This case needs to be at the federal level, and it could be moved up to the federal level. Who prosecutes it at the federal level? The state. People are not fucking playing. They're livid. Livid. But it would be a governor and a state's attorney general that would have to make the decision, we are going to do this. But they would have to have solid, overwhelming overwhelming, something extremely compelling to the court to say that this is obstruction or something else to play that play, and it would cause a war of its own. It would cause a war of its own because it's unheard of, but it can be done. And the mere fact that people are talking about, well, okay, what are the contingencies? How many emergency court things are we gonna have to file before if they just keep saying no, if they just keep not releasing it, somebody is going to have to charge them with criminal obstruction of justice, and it would have to be a state that did it. So, my guess is California. If it stayed at the state level, he would not be able to pardon her because they're federal employees, and it would be, they would have to they would allege a violation of state law, right? And they would have to show standing, something. They would have to show standing. So lots of hurdles, right? This is a scenario, not a plan. Okay? It's a scenario, not a plan. But there are several legal hurdles that they would have to satisfy. They would have to be able to show standing. They would have to come up with state crimes, right? They would have to, in their back pocket, have an equivalent of a federal crime on the chances that this is gonna be remanded to federal court, which it would. It damn near guarantee that it would go up to the federal level. Um, but it is a thing that can be done in theory. It's a scenario that can happen. Yeah, I mean, Florida would be optimal, but they're obviously not gonna do it, right? Their governor and their AG are fucking crazy, so they're not gonna do it. Um, but yeah, I for all of the destruction and chaos that Donald Trump has brought to the government and to the country and to the planet in less than a year, that man has taken L's that contribute to his downfall and him becoming, if at the minimum, a lame duck president in 2026 because we're moving into 2026 with people not having health care. And they need to resolve that immediately, period. That's their job. That's what they need to do. Um, right now, the internal conversations of the Republicans is, uh, well, there's 2 levels. There's on the ground Republicans who are pulling their hair out and super panicked because people need their health care. And then there are the elite GOP who do not care that 30 million people are gonna lose their health care. They don't care. They don't think the government should be paying anything for anybody to stay alive or get care, or it's if you're sickly, then you should die. That's natural selection. We should not be keeping you alive. You're a drain on resources. If you're sickly, you should die. Mike Johnson is telling people the decision to cut healthcare is going to support an able-bodied workforce. 30 million people getting dumped off of healthcare is going to support the growth of an able-bodied workforce. Translation, they want people to die. That's the most convenient way to not have to subsidize people's healthcare anymore, is for them to die. So, why couldn't Republicans come to an agreement on healthcare? Because it's more beneficial to them in their minds that people die so that the government doesn't have to pay for them anymore. But also, the president is a pedophile and rapes 13-year-old girls. So, yeah, there's that. Hello, beautiful. I've been thinking about you. It's good to see you. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. It's, it's really fucking terrible. So, they're hurting people and, you know, they're chipping away at the stability of the nation. They're also destroying themselves. With every self-righteous move they make, they are destroying themselves. And, you know, it's gonna pop off next week. It's gonna pop off next week. There are some Democrats who are ready, and quiet as kept, couple Republicans too. They wanna go scorched earth. They're just trying to figure out the most efficient means and most effective way to do it. They've they're fucking through. And I think what the right is becoming increasingly aware of is that they don't have any integrity with the public, right? Even with the broadness of their base. The root of their base doesn't care about integrity, but their base is broader than just the root of it. It's much broader than that. And those are people that need unimpeachable voices of authority that they can trust. And I've said this before, nobody nobody in that administration is in that position. Nobody. There will be a day when they say, "Okay, we've released everything." They are not going to believe them. When they say, "Oh, the president didn't send a card to Epstein, and it's looking or Epstein didn't send a card to some other pedophile about the president, and it's looking increasingly like Jeffrey Epstein did not actually send that letter to Larry Nassar. Um, n Nevertheless, nobody's going to believe them. You're already lying and covering shit up. We can see you in real time, redacting things that shouldn't be redacted, taking down things that expose Donald. So and you lied to the people about this shit for years. You lied to them all year. You started off the beginning of the year on January 21, lying to people about these files, lying to your broad base about these files. You lied and insulted their intelligence all year long. And then at the end of the year, we get confirmation that the president of the United States is part of a pedophile gang, an international pedophile gang. And you expect people to believe you when you say there are things in these files that are outlandish lies about the president that are not true. If that were true, where is the contemporaneous documentation that shows these things were thoroughly investigated and found to be untrue? You're not releasing those documents because they don't exist. Because he was a co-conspirator. He's fucked. Yeah, he's fucked. And they're going to impeach him. Will they convict him? I don't know. But I bet my bottom dollar, this nickel right here, that we will see a couple, sputters of impeachment. But as they are forced to unredact these documents the way the law requires them to, we are probably going to get to a serious attempt to impeach the president. And I think that there are people for whom in the Republican Party that became evident a couple months ago for them. The oh shit became evident as it pushed closer and closer to them passing the Transparency Act and then really having those conversations about who's in these files. And, they talk a good game. They're fucking terrified. They're fucking terrified. And I predict at least one person, one man takes a long walk off a short cliff. I think once these people get exposed, they're going to be exposed. Biden didn't release the files because the Biden administration held up the longstanding um, tradition of not telling the Department of Justice what to do. That's why they didn't release the files. More than not wanting it to be perceived as a political play. They did not want to be perceived as telling the Department of Justice what to do. So they never ordered it. And I think it's completely for the best. I think it's absolutely for the best that it is being released under Donald's administration, that they are posting the craziest statements on social media and making, literally unbelievable statements about what is and is not in these documents. Again, they have no integrity. They have openly lied to the people about these documents for a year. For a year. And what people want to know is who knew and when did they know? And what did they know? And when were the true last points of contact with all of these people? Because Donald will tell you it was in the early aughts. Now we know that's not true. That's not true. And I don't wanna see it, right? Because it's nasty, but I wanna see everything. I wanna see the photos. I wanna know who the fuck the co-conspirators are. I wanna see their photos. I wanna see these redacted photos of Donald and Ghislaine. And I feel confident that we've barely scratched the surface of what the DOJ has. They just came out and said, "Oh, we think we found 1,000,000 more documents." No shit. You've got 10 to 20 co-conspirators that you either served warrants or subpoenas on. It's a voluminous amount of information. Voluminous. The other thing that is really fascinating is apparently the FBI was trailing journalists. 'Cause their flight itineraries and shit are in the Epstein files. Unbelievable. There's a journalist who's with at least she was, with the Miami Herald who did exceptional work reporting on Jeffrey Epstein. One of the early consistent I remember reading her work several years ago. There was another, journalist from Variety, who had her piece on Epstein cut up by her editors. She had some pretty explosive stuff in there. They found their travel itineraries in the Epstein files. No, so where did the FBI get those things? Jeffrey Epstein was surveilling cops, so he very easily could have gotten their flight itineraries. Did you get it from things that he had? Nobody knows, and they're not answering any fucking questions, and even if they came out with an explanation as to why they have these journalist travel itineraries, we would not believe them. That is the problem. It is a huge fucking problem when your institution or you as an institutionalist have no fucking integrity. When there are no checks and balances, when we cannot check your work and verify that this is accurate. None of this is coming out in an orderly way. None of it is being, reasonably explain to people there will not be congressional hearings about the Epstein files. There will not be congressional hearings about the Epstein files unless there's an impeachment. Why? Because the Democrats have no fucking power and the Republicans aren't going to do it. So if there are actually going to be congressional hearings where people walk us through what is all of this, how do all of these people relate, that won't happen until 2027, and it will only happen if the Democrats get a majority and then some in the House and the Senate. But yeah, the president's a pedophile. That's his legacy. And there's really nothing he can do about it. You don't decide your own legacy. Your legacy is determined by the people who you've impacted the most. So his legacy is all the people who die because USAID was cut off, because they got rid of Obamacare, because they've been snatching people off the streets, because they withheld SNAP, because they deported people in this country getting medical care for life-threatening conditions that they can't get medical care for anywhere else, and the children he raped, who are now grown. His legacy is not a ballroom. It's not the Kennedy Center. It's not some fucking arch. The president is a rapist. A repeat offender. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have there's no close runners up. There's first place and then there's second place, and there's a huge gap in between first and second place. Huge gap. Not since the genocide of indigenous people, which also included a lot of raping of children. This president is racking up war crimes. He is the most fiscally corrupt. There is no comparison to Donald Trump. There's Donald and then everybody else. Yeah, actually, let's keep it real. He's a murderer. He's not even a war criminal because we're not at war. He's just a killer. Because that's the ultimate of power for him, is bombing fishermen. Trying to pave over Gaza and make it a resort town. Yeah. Yeah. His corpse is gonna drown in the blood of everybody he's responsible for killing. Every US president, that's the truth of their legacy. It's the truth for Biden. It's the truth for Obama. It's the truth for Bush. It's the truth for Clinton. It's the truth for Reagan. That's part of the gig. So when people are like, "Oh, well, how do you all feel that Bill Clinton's in the files?" All these motherfuckers is murderers. Cora said there hasn't been a president this brazen since Andrew Jackson. Jesus Christ. I was just reading up on Mr. Jackson a couple days ago, as a matter of fact, because I do believe it was Andrew Jackson who said the Constitution should be amended every 19 years. We need that. We need that. We need that. All right. Who else took L's this year? Nicole Key. She's an honorable mention. We were all here. We don't need to regurgitate it. Okay. But damn, I'm so glad it's over. Jesus Christ. Mm, 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 mm. Now I put J Folds 5 on here. Uh I don't know why 2025 feels like such a solid loss for J. Cole. Maybe it's just me who feels this way, right? It's not like, you know, at least to my recall, it's not like he had some big public incident, right? Or he got caught on a hot mic or whatever, but it just really feels like 2025 was a net loss for J. Cole. We came into the year irritated. We came into the year irritated. We let shots off all year. All year. And when I say we, I mean the collective we in our corner of the internet, okay? We let shots off. Just specific strays in his direction all year long. And I'm still irritated with him at the end of the year going into next year. Wow, milestone birthday? Exactly, exactly, Fateless. Dishonorable mentions to Nicole Key and J. Cole. Stormy is Cloud. What did he even do? Not much. Not much. He got sued by Cameron. He did that. That's still going. That's still happening. Got sued by Cameron for just being a piece of shit. I love that photo of you. I mean, he was pretty quiet all year, but his silence spoke volumes, you know? We got one song from him? Oh, thank you, beautiful. Oh man, that was a whole fucking scandal when we were like, what is going on? What is going on with Dreamville? What is going on? Yeah, we got one. Did it have to do with clouds? Been the best ghost all year. It's hilarious. Oh gosh. Oh yeah, Shannon Sharp did take a big L. That's a good addition. That's a good addition. Complex says he recorded the fall off after the K. Drake beef, but is Complex, so who knows? Well, where there's smoke, there's at least the ingredients of a fire. So, I mean, he's been working on it forever, according to him, or maybe he was just talking about it and not working on it. We already covered Drake. We started with Drake. Hey, beautiful. Oh, I'm liking that beard. Honorable mention, Drake. Kai Cenat. I thought about Kai. Tyler, the Creator, getting the nigga wake up calls. Yeah, Kai Cenat got exposed for being gross and empty and coontastic. Tyler, the Creator, just fucked up. He really did fuck up in not being accountable for his past actions. And Drake is Drake, baby. So Jid said the fall off is supposed to be really, really good. Y'all will see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Was Clouds this year? Wasn't it? I don't know. Yeah, this is another one. Yeah, Tyler Perry took some major L's. It could have been. It could have been. I'm just saying I like it. I thought you'd want to know. It's nice. Be cool. It's the fullness. I like the fullness. I like them full like that. Okay, let me quit. Daylit said he heard the fall off in the fall of 2024 and it was really good, supposedly. Yeah, yeah. Fateless, I like Jid and don't believe him at all. That's his boss. He has to say nice things about his boss. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. I know. I know. Oh, this is a good one. Latinos for Trump took major L's all across the board, all across this country, from sea to shining sea, and south of the border too. They did not get one win. L. Nothing but rolling hell. That is, yep, that is facts. That is facts. They took the L train to hell. What's crazy is it cracks me up when I see um Latino MAGA folks who are mad that Bad Bunny is doing the halftime show. I'm like, somebody should slap you, because what the fuck is the matter with you? Suddenly craving enchiladas for dinner. Wait, is it Tuesday? Is it Monday or is it Tuesday? I don't even know what day it is, gang. I told you I've been in bed since Friday. Oh, it's Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. We'll leave that as another honorable mention. We were there for it. I don't want to get into it. She's taken else. I will tell you that docket is still going. So we'll talk about it on another day, but that docket for that case is still going. Megan has filed for injunctive relief to prevent Milagro from doing certain things, and an amicus has come onto the docket in support of her efforts to get injunctive relief. So we're going to come back to it because, yeah, in between eating my cheese puffs with chopsticks, I've been checking the docket alerts, and I was like, why is there an amicus brief on Megan v. Milagro? What the fuck? And I opened up that docket, and I was like, oh, there's a bunch of stuff on here. This is the enforcement phase of the penalties phase. So, yeah. Yeah, fuck him. That boy got shanked. Okay, swinging ain't do nothing for him. He had to pay people's attorney's fees. He got more jail time. His ass is sitting in prison, and he got poked almost to death. They don't like him. They don't like him. And who's surprised? Oh, that was a great day. Lindsay halitosis. That was a great day. Oh, that was such a great day. I'm still sad that we didn't get a decision on all of the motions to dismiss, because I really, really, really wanted that. I really wanted that. I do believe the government is appealing the initial motion to dismiss ruling, but we'll see. Fuck this dude. He's another honorable mention. Fuck him forever. God, he's such a little pipsqueak. Him and Kash Patel. Kash Patel also took nothing but L's. He handed the L's to himself. To himself, he handed out L's. Also illegal firearms, but definitely L's. That dude was forever. We got him. No, sir, that wasn't him. We had to let that person go. Okay, now we got him. No, sir, that wasn't him either. We had to let him go. Different crime scene. Months later, we got him. Sir, actually, that was not the suspect. We had to let him go. Oh my God, he's such a fucking dork. The year of tokens getting spent. Ugh. Target was definitely in the top 5 L's, and I gotta congratulate everybody who chose to also get a divorce from Target. I divorced Target a while ago, so I don't boycott anymore. I don't boycott anymore. I divorce you. And yeah, we got a divorce. So I'm never going back. I don't give a fuck what they say. I don't care if 10 years from now, all of their fucking board, members are black. I don't care. I'm never going back to Target. And that's just it for me. All right, let's talk about it. This was incredible. White toxic masculinity got knocked the fuck out twice. White toxic masculinity got knocked the fuck out twice for everyone to see. They signed up for it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't know if we will ever see Anthony Joshua box again. I think, I don't think we're gonna see him box in 2026. I think that I don't think we're gonna see him box in 2026. We were, and now we are very much not going to see him box in 2026. He lost his 2 best friends and 2 people integral to his training team. So, I don't think we're gonna see him box again. But we're gonna set that aside and focus on the fact that he knocked out a motherfucker who really deserved it, broke his jaw in 2 places, understood the assignment. Let's be clear that Anthony Joshua understood the assignment. He knew exactly what Jake Paul was, or what Jake Paul is, what Jake Paul has been, what he means out there in the social culture, in the culture, in boxing. He understood the assignment, and he whooped that man's ass. And hallelujah, praise Jesus. That is an L that toxic masculinity needed. That is the L that white misogyny needed. That is the L that white supremacy needed. Andrew Tate too. And Andrew Tate is a bigger L in a lot of ways than Jake Paul, because Andrew Tate is a shameless white supremacist. Shameless. And he got his ass knocked out. Man. You know, my son's lock screen on his phone has been Kendrick Lamar since the pop out happened. And he changed it to that photo of Anthony Joshua. I was like, same energy. He said, same energy. Like, you just swapped out one for the other. It's perfect. Perfect. Yep. Yeah, it's really terrible. Really terrible. Anthony Joshua and members of his team, as well as some of his closest friends, were on holiday. They were speeding, trying to overtake a vehicle, and crashed into a very large parked truck head on. The 2 people in the front died instantly, and that was 2 of his best friends who are also on his training staff. One, at least one of them a boxer in his own right. Um, and, there's some really horrific video online. What the news shared is obviously not the full video that's out there. Um, but there's video of Anthony Joshua being taken from the vehicle, and taken to the hospital. But The video is much worse than that. He's pretty great. He's pretty great. It's terrible. He was in the back seat of the vehicle, and, or middle seat. I'm not sure if it was back seat or middle seat, but, yeah, yeah, really just terrible, just terrible, but, if he never fights again, he had a stellar career, world heavyweight champion, Olympic medalist, and he broke Jake Paul's jaw, and that matters. It really does, and we thank him for his service. Um, yeah, I would imagine that, he's probably had some internal damage, probably had some broken bones. Um, yeah, I think he was clearly in shock when they were taking him out of the vehicle. Um, I was thinking about that last night. Um, you gotta square yourself medically, make sure you're good, and then you have to see to, taking care of your friends and getting their remains back home. So I can imagine he would not want to leave. Um, I can't remember where they were. I wanna say Uganda, but I don't think it was Uganda. I think it started with an N. But I would imagine that you don't want to leave, the country barring your own, like, severe medical emergency where you have to leave for treatment or care. But I would imagine that he would not want to leave without his friends, even if that's, "I don't leave until their bodies are released to go, and I fly them home." But that's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Nigeria, thank you. I'm starting to fade. But yeah, Nigeria. Who's left on this illustrious list of L's? Oh, I do believe it is Diddy. Let me turn on this overhead light real quick because this is getting real bright up in my eyeballs. Give me a sec. Oh, look, I'm still here. That's not what's supposed to happen. It's terrible. It's really terrible, and it's made worse by the fact that everybody knows who you are. You get swarmed immediately. Um, you yourself are probably injured in some way. Like, I don't think he could really clock what was. He was certainly conscious, certainly in pain, but I don't think that he was in the presence of mind to immediately be able to take in just how devastating the accident was, which is probably a good thing. But can you imagine that you get into a car accident and then people are helping you get out of the car and there's just people everywhere because you're famous and they all know you're here. You were probably being followed by several cars full of people just because they want to see you. And then people have their phones out and they're filming you. You've just had this accident. I just can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. No, that's not true. The entire accident scene was not ruined. The only way that you could ruin an accident scene like that is to take the vehicle away. He was removed from the vehicle. I think that people had the best intention possible. I think they had the best intention possible. And um, there was not emergency services on the scene to, stabilize his neck and remove him from the vehicle and all of that. But I've witnessed accidents and come upon accidents where we got the person out of the car before EMT arrived. You just stabilize them to the best of your ability, meaning don't move, lay down, etc. Try and gather as much information as possible, but it's definitely challenged by the fact that, they appeared to be in a rural area at the time that it happened. So, I think that doesn't necessarily help matters, but I think, aside from people not exercising any tact or respect for the situation, I'm not one to, I assume positive intention until people show me otherwise, so but yes, let's talk about well, that's another generic statement that isn't true, right? That's not true. We're not monolith as a people. We don't all act the same, we don't all respond the same. I've never filmed an accident scene that I've come across. So, most people don't, okay? So, a lot of people who were following around Anthony Joshua weren't even alive when Princess Diana died. They're not thinking about her, they don't really care. We could say that Barry Weiss took an L, but I don't wanna give her that much power or recognition at this point in time, and I don't think hasn't been damaging enough. I think CBS has taken some L's, and they deserve it, and I hope they keep taking L's. Paramount too. Fucked a lot of them for real. Disney, they're on there. Disney took massive L's, and they deserved it, and, we'll see what they do in the future. Jimmy Kimmel isn't going anywhere for at least a year, though, so that's great. I love that. I think that's great. That's another L for Donald too. I mean, when they took Jimmy Kimmel off the air, I said to you all, "We're never gonna see Jimmy Kimmel on television again in that capacity." And I thought the boycott was great, and I participated in it when I came here and told you all, and when I was, in the wake of Jimmy being pulled off air and I had that like, "Oh, shit, I gotta cancel Disney." Like, that's the one thing that I can do, right? And millions upon millions of people did the exact same thing, and I thought that that was great. I did not think that they would put Jimmy back on air. I did not think that they would put Jimmy back on air, and when they did, that's also a marker. That was also a marker for me. of something has changed, something has shifted. It still blows my mind that they put him back on air, and then they renewed him for another year, extended his contract for at least a year. So, and that's his choice. He had said some time ago that he's gonna take it a year by year basis. So he's not trying to lock down a 4 or 5, 6 year, 7 year. He's been there for 20 something years. So he's already got the, I don't know how much longer I want to keep doing this. He also lost his best friend, who was the leader of the band, who died days after this whole thing happened. Within like 2 weeks of this whole thing happening, his best friend dies. And so he's gotta sit there every day and do that show and look over, and your best friend isn't there anymore. But also, he has no fucks to give where Donald Trump is concerned, and he's made a choice. He's not gonna pull his punches. He's not gonna hold back. And if they decide to pull him off the air and never put him back on, so fucking be it. He didn't apologize, which was wonderful. He didn't make the donations they demanded. He didn't do anything that they demanded. The days outside of ABC and Disney. He didn't do any of that shit. He did not kowtow to fucking terrorists. And they put him back on the air. The pressure on Disney and ABC was incredible. And it came from both sides of the aisle. And that was a shift. So I have said this before. I still stand by it. I don't find Jimmy Kimmel entertaining or funny. I think that he's been pretty significantly problematic in many of his hosting gigs. But boy, he's got him by the balls. And I just love that. I love that for all of us. I love that for all of us. 5 nights a week. Him and Colbert. And Seth. Really don't give a shit. That's fantastic. I don't think stand-up comedy took the L. I think some stand-up comedians took the L. But stand-up comedy, we're not gonna stand-up comedy is too sacred and too powerful and too vast for one comedy show and a couple comics going. So I'm not gonna go that far because I don't think stand-up comedy took the L on that. I think actually stand-up comedy for a large majority, the majority of comics weren't there, right? Because the majority of them weren't invited, but a majority of them had a feeling about it, and the majority of them didn't like it. So, I also have a problem with, morality finger wagging. And I agree with Dave Chappelle when he says, "Yeah, so they killed that journalist," talking about Jamal Khashoggi, "and they shouldn't have done that." But did we stop counting at 1? Do we stop counting at 1 journalist, or do we keep counting and include the almost 450 journalists that the United States has helped kill in Gaza? So the morality finger wagging doesn't do it for me because it's hypocritical as shit. It's hypocritical as shit. And for people to get on their high horse, not you, people, to get on their high horse and act like going over there was explicitly condoning the murder of a journalist. Well, what the fuck are we doing here in the United States of America? And then there are people that say, well, we don't have the power to do anything. That's not true. People just aren't willing to do what it would take. There's less than 600 people in DC that control the government. There's millions of Americans. They might take some of us out on the way in, but they can't kill us all. So people are just unwilling to do it, and that's fine. That's fine. But that's where your values meet reality. Oh, I'm not willing to go that far. Well, okay then. America's going to keep killing journalists in Gaza. We supply the weapons that Israel uses. So if it's not the exact weapon, it's the money to get the weapon from somewhere else. We're American comics are always playing at private venues. They're playing at private venues that hurt small artists. Because all of these venues are controlled by Live Nation. They're not out here in America performing for the people for free. Everybody's a party to something. So, and I'm not saying it's a 1-to-1. Actually, I am saying it's a 1-to-1 comparison. I am saying it's a 1-to-1 comparison. The reality is that America has decided to place more value on one person's life. Americans, I should say, not America, because the government doesn't give a shit under the current administration that they murdered that man. They choked him out, cut him up, and dissolved his body while his fiancée was waiting outside for him to get their marriage papers. Americans, many Americans, have placed more moral value on that than they do on the 400, because you shouldn't kill journalists. Nobody gives a fuck about Jamal Khashoggi, a man. The whole reason why it matters is because journalists are supposed to be Switzerland. You're not supposed to kill them. Period. You're not supposed to kill journalists. Not in conflict, not in disagreement. The value placed on him is not that he was a man. It was that he was a journalist, an American journalist. He wrote for the Washington Post and other outlets, but he wrote for the Washington Post. You don't kill journalists. Period. That is a hard no-no. But by saying, oh, it's different, it's not different. It's not different. If America gave a shit about journalists, it wouldn't be bombing them out of the sky. It wouldn't be empowering them being bombed out of the fucking sky. America does not value human life. It doesn't even value American life. It values power over lives. And Americans value moral superiority over actual morality. And medics and doctors. Every once in a while, I get going. Every once in a while, I get going. But I understand the temptation. I understand the temptation, but, because I just wanna say to you that I get it, and I encourage you, on your own time to think about it until it is the same in your mind, because I think you're a great human, but I think that will help you be a better one when there is no difference in your mind. The means being different doesn't matter. The means being different doesn't matter. They're dying for the same reason. Journalists are not some unfortunate casualty in Gaza. They are a target, and they actively target them and then lie about them to cast their names in filth after they're dead and gone with no evidence whatsoever that they're Hamas or they're this or they're doing that. No, we know that Israel and its allies and its mouthpieces here in America do not want us to see what journalists on the ground expose us to, which is war crimes of Netanyahu, starvation, rape, mass murder, killing children, on and on and on and on and on. We see these things at this stage because of journalists. We know what we know about Saudi Arabia because of journalists. And MBS saw that as a threat and an unacceptable one. Netanyahu sees it as a threat and an unacceptable one. And they are both empowered by a president of the United States who also sees the free press as a threat to power. He really wants people to kill journalists. Oh, baby, you're being way too nuanced. Look at you getting into international policy. Good for you. Good for you. Both and. Both and. But a huge thing that people pointed to was, Saudi Arabia murders people. They just killed an American journalist. That was a huge thing that people were pointing to, at least from my vantage point, my perspective of what I was seeing out there in the news and on social media, more than folks were pointing to what was happening in Sudan. They were just pointing to, Saudi Arabia is a cruel regime. They cannot be supported. They killed a journalist, right? It was that whole thing. But both and, for sure. And then right, and then there's this, right? It's like you wanna get on, not you, but people want to criticize Saudi Arabia for their impact on Sudan. What about America's impact? Now that USAID is gone, point a positive impact of America in Africa. Pick a country. I'll wait. Right, there are none. There are none. America has done so much dirt on the African continent just in the past 60 years and is the source of so much death, suffering, war, because we like to meddle in governments and, arm rebels to overthrow leaders we don't like. That never ends well. So again, the morality finger wag, I'm like, everybody is culpable. Everybody is culpable. Me too. And then there's this, right? I still get comments from people who are very, very angry at me, who are like, who just come in hot. They're like, you bitch, you don't give a fuck about it. At least Nicki Minaj cares about Christians being slaughtered. I'm like, well, what came first, the dog or the wag? Huh? Did the dog wag the tail or did the tail wag the dog? Because those Christians didn't get attacked until after Nicki Minaj spoke at the United Nations, and everybody pointed out that she didn't know what the fuck she was talking about and that this was a trumped up narrative by the Trump administration. Within a week, 300 students killed and kidnapped from a Christian school. I call that justification for a policy position. That's what I call that. I don't believe in coincidences. Yeah, it's an overexploited continent. It's rare earth minerals, it's people, it's children, its most precious commodities have all been overexploited by everyone else. The way I threw my hands up when that happened, not 5, 6 days after Nicki Minaj gave her speech, I was just like, "You've got to be fucking kidding me." You've got to be fucking kidding me. I'm not going for it. I'm just not going for it. I'm not going for it. I don't give a fuck what y'all do. That bitch is illegitimate. I'm referring to Nicki Minaj. She doesn't know what the fuck it is that she's talking about it. And if you think guerrilla forces on the ground aren't in touch with governments, you dumb. You dumb. You dumb. You dumb. So, yeah, people wanna take that on face value and act like there's some big conspiracy and blah, 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 blah. Nope. And when I say some big conspiracy, I mean Muslim on Christian conspiracy. No, that's not what it is. That's not the conspiracy that's actually happening in this situation. No, but we should treat her like a threat. We should treat her like a threat because she is. She's a threat. All right. Last but not least, so far. So far, I'm sure you guys can still come up with some other L's for this year, and I know the replay gang will add some to the comment section, but boy howdy. Diddy, 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 damn. This is another one of those situations where one thing had to happen so the other thing could could happen and be as impactful as it was. Cassie had to sue, shout out to her. Diddy had to be charged. He had to be found guilty of something. Actually, he didn't even have to be found guilty. I think the docuseries would have come out anyway. But all of those things needed to happen so that 50 Cent's Did He Do It docuseries, technically it's called The Reckoning, but it Did He Do It docuseries, I think is one of the most incredible things that I saw in 2025. Not just because of its contents, but its mere existence. The fact that it even exists at all and we all got to see it is incredible to me. It is incredible to me that it exists, that we got to see season 1. 'Cause I do think at some point in time, there gonna be a season 2. Um, I am still, by the way, checking every single day to see if Sean Combs sues anybody over the docuseries. That be Netflix, Biddy, the director, the videographers. I'm still checking every day. Um, I hope he does. I really want him to. I really hope he does. Um, we talked about it before, but it is my tummy's like, bitch, did you say tacos? What are we doing? We talked about it before, but it's extraordinary to me. It's extraordinary to me. And y'all know I can't stand 50 bitch ass since I can't stand his ass at all. But that is really one of the most remarkable things that I have ever seen. And I have no choice but to respect it because I understand the value of hating somebody. Ooh, boy. I understand the value of hating somebody. I understand the commitment. Yeah, I understand the commitment. I understand hating somebody for decades. I definitely understand that. I also understand holding on to stuff until the time is right. Ah, fond memories. I definitely understand that. Mhm. Yep. Mhm. Mm, mm. Nom, 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 nom. Nom, 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 nom. Man, Diddy and his dunderheaded sons about to release their own doc on Zeus Network of all places. Is this serious or is this a joke? I can't tell. I really can't tell. Don't you have to pay the Zeus Network to release your shit? Isn't that the opposite of it's real? Hey, beautiful. I don't even know what to say. I gotta fact check you, beloved. Oh my god, it's the first thing in the search results. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is terrible. Oh my god. So, yes, his sons, 2 of his sons, Justin and Christian, do have something dropping on the Zeus Network in 2026. I can't believe I'm on the Zeus.com. Oh, no, I don't wanna hear that shit. I don't wanna see them, I don't wanna hear them, I just wanna read it. It does not have a name yet, it's on there as a Zeus documentary series. So no name yet, and the only description is Justin and Christian Combs speak out for the first time in an up close, personal, and exclusive documentary series. You can leave comments on the Zeus network? 19 minutes ago, Ashley. Lock them all up at this point. 9 minutes ago, Sasha. This is crazy work. RIP Biggie and Pac. We don't want to hear nothing from Diddy or his kids. Diddy is wrong AF. Another comment. I want to hear from all of the siblings and not just defensively. Another comment. And it's a series, like more than one episode. Nah, 2 thumb down emoji. I hope all the women in this network are looking at Lemmy sideways because, huh? I don't know what that means. Another comment. Stop. Let me out. Another comment. Zeus going out sad. Another comment. I'm unsubbing. A commenter named Sam. We don't want this. A commenter named Meek. Speak for yourself, Sam. Kamari died. Child, I don't want to hear nothing they got to say. They was doing it too. Response to that, right? Justin was right alongside his daddy. Now King? I'm not sure. But still, I can't believe Zeus is giving their platform for them to speak. I can. Ah! Somebody named Lolo. Meow, meow, 1, 2, 3, 4, meow. Absolutely not. Ebony. Dog, what? Commenter named Ugh. Are we dead ass? Ew, why y'all do this? Yeah, so wow. Mm, mm. I It's Temu Tubi for reality TV. Okay. I mean, I've heard the words the Zeus Network before. I have never watched anything on it. And I'm just going to be perfectly frank with y'all. Diddy's sons give me the ick. They give me the ick. They gave me the ick before this. Since this, really give me the ick. Really, really, really give me the ick. And I've read some things on dockets about his sons. So, yeah, I don't want to hear shit these boys have to say. I don't give a good goddamn. And it's fucking pathetic. You could have just released that shit yourself on YouTube. What? Shishi. It is the network that brings you baddies, which is Bootleg Bad Girls Club, with sex trafficker Natalie Nunn and Krishan Rock's documented mental decline. Oh, that's where that show is. So Zeus is the network where I see clips of something on social media and I'm like, where even is that show? It's on the Zeus network. Got it. 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 Well, he's not in it. It's his two sons that are telling their side of the story of what the experience was like for them. Boy, don't nobody give a shit. You nasty. You both nasty. You both nasty. I don't want to see none of that. I'm with you. I'm with you. Oh, hell no. No, 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 no. No. Yeah, I don't want to see none of that. No, no. Nah, it's a not for me, dog. Nah, it's a not for me. Oh boy, I swear to God, I'm gonna cuss somebody out tomorrow. I really hate when somebody says you will have XYZ by the end of the day. It is 5:30 p.m. I know your ass is not in the office anymore. I know. I know you're not in the office anymore. Oh, Lord. Anyway. Yeah, there ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I ain't no way. Just really pathetic. And also, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but the gentleman in question, the sons, they don't talk all that good to begin with. Yes, I said talk all that good. They don't talk all that good. They're immature. They're totally self-centered. I don't think they're gonna come off very well. Same. I don't either. I don't either. I don't either. I don't think they're gonna come off very well. That's one way of putting it. They really are spoiled, entitled little bitch boys. And I just don't think that it's gonna come off well, and I don't think it's gonna have a net impact on anything. It's certainly not gonna be more impactful than the Diddy Do It docuseries by 50 Cent. And you know what? They get paid by each view. Okay. So what? I could care less. And these are 2 more people who have no fucking integrity. Why am I listening to you and what you have to say? Why am I listening to children about this thing? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what you went through as his son. Your dad was a violent, misogynistic piece of shit of a human being. I don't give a fuck what you went through. I don't care if you're suffering because he's gone now. You know why he's gone? Because he's a violent, misogynistic piece of shit of a man. That's why. They did it because he's black and they convicted him of the man crime and shut the fuck up. Your dad's an abusive, misogynistic piece of shit. And he's the reason at least 9 people are dead. At least 9 people. Yeah, it's fuck Diddy forever. Fuck him and his kids. Them little bitch boys. Them little bitch boys. Yeah. You want to talk about some people who need to go away and be quiet? The entire Combs clan needs to go away and be quiet. I do not want 10 different stupid docuseries from various friends and family members of Diddy. First, we got the 2 brothers, and then, the daughters are going to turn 18. Eventually, they're going to have something to say. His mother got dragged to, hell and back for her filthy ass ways. She's going to have something to say, but she probably wants to pair hers with his exclusive interview that he's going to do when he gets out, if she lasts that long, because apparently her health not too good. I don't want it. I don't want it. But the Zeus Network, wow. 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 I am quite frankly surprised it's not going to Tubi. That really does surprise me because they did all of those bullshit TMZ documentaries that were 1,000% favorable to Diddy. So, obviously, it came down to that back end deal of what they get for it. But the Zeus Network, if I had a story to tell and the only network, because I think network is generous, okay, for Zeus TV. But if the only place that was willing to take it was the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the barrel, I would release it myself. Because there's a massive difference reputationally. At this point, it's crazy to say because it used to not be this way with regard to YouTube. It used to be that, "Oh, it's on YouTube," wasn't always a good thing. Now, it's the place to be. Zeus Network is, as Fateless said, the Temu Tubi of the streaming platforms. So, the association, you are intentionally associating yourself with the bottom of the barrel, the place that is full of trash that nobody watches instead of just putting it out yourself on YouTube. That's crazy. This is what I'm saying. It would be better on YouTube. Hell, at this point in time, you could just put up your own site. Put it on there, charge $3.99. Uh That's a really horrible decision. That's a really, really, really poor decision on their part, and good for them. Good for them. Good for them. May they reap the consequences of that decision because that's what they deserve. For real. Well, yeah, that's the other thing is I don't know, they may not have an established monetized space to even put it that they own. I don't know. I obviously don't follow the Combs children, so I don't know if they have monetized YouTube channels, but, um, Zeus Network is crazy. That's why I said when I saw the comment, "Is this a joke?" Because it's the association. It's not even just that they're putting something out, which they shouldn't do, period, because nobody gives a fuck, and fuck you. Your dad was a piece of shit. Um, but Zeus Network is crazy. You signed on the dotted line because that was the best you felt you could do. You could do it better yourself. You could do it better yourself. Wow. I'm stunned. I guess so. I mean, there are just so many different places where they could have put it. There are so many different places where they could have put it. But Zeus Network, huh? Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have tacos for dinner. What y'all gonna get into tonight, gang? We've spent a glorious 3 hours together. I think it's safe to say that, the hell? I just got the craziest pop-up within, StreamYard. Sorry. Totally threw me off because that's not what was supposed to happen when I clicked that little button. Anyway, um, may the losers of 2025 continue to catch nothing but tough titties in 2026. Amen. Amen. Hell is this? I've never heard of this restaurant before. Interesting. Anyway. I don't think I'm gonna be here tomorrow, so I think this is our final LBG taco titties for all y'all. Taco titties for all y'all. It is our final long black goodbye of 2025. Boy, we've had some titty shout outs. We've had some titty shout outs this year. It's been interesting. Yeah. Yeah, will this be the last set of titties for 2025? I think so. I'm not planning on having a live tomorrow, but it could happen. It could happen. I might be going live on TikTok for the final episode of Stranger Things. So that might happen. I'm not going to have it on screen, but I'll be on screen. You'll be able to hear it. I'll be watching it, but I won't necessarily have it on screen myself. I definitely don't have that much clout on TikTok to do that. But I feel like I want to watch it, with people, but I don't actually want to go and be around people. I ain't planning for that tomorrow. Nah, I ain't planning for that. I need to plan for that at least a week in advance, and I still probably would have changed my mind because I've been in bed for a week. So, yeah. Oh, thank you. This is hilarious. Yes, happy New Year to everyone. You're stupid. Um, we made it, gang. We made it. Oh, thank you, beautiful. I appreciate you. Would appreciate you. If one of the mods can grab the cat list from the Discord in the fur babies section and post it, that would be great. I've got a list of cat things for Operation Move the Cats. That means Oscar too. So if y'all want to contribute, you can. That'd be super sweet. But yeah, we made it, boy. We made it through a lot of titties. We made it through a lot of dockets. We made it through a lot of airlocks. We made it through a lot of what the fuck is going on. We made it through a lot, boy. We made it. I'm proud of us. I really am proud of us because oof, man, January was rough for all of us. The whole year has been fucked. Okay, the whole year has been fucked, but If you'll recall, because I know I do, because I could feel it. I could genuinely feel y'all's anxiety between November 2024 and January 2025. I could feel it. Um, and I said, "We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here together. We're not gonna drown ourselves in this shit every single day. We're gonna talk about it when it's worthy of being talked about, and, we'll talk about other things as well." And we at least did that, right? We at least did that. Got 2 books out this year, which does not seem real. I'll just go ahead and say, doesn't seem real. Very real. Um, but yeah, we did it. We did it. We got through 2025. We got through it mostly intact together. Some of y'all still be watching, I know, even though, you talk shit to me when that bald-headed hoe had the nerve to put my name in his mouth and say a bunch of shit that was untrue. You came at me sideways behind the scenes and in the comment section and in emails and in DMs, came at me all kinds of crazy, but you still watch. You should pay tithes too, because quiet is kept. I don't like having you here, but there's nothing I can do about it, so, um, you should apologize, but that would mean that you believe and respect Black women. We know that's not the fucking case. But we got through that. Yeah, we got through that. Me, those of us still visible in the chat. You're outside the spaceship looking in. So you didn't make it, but the rest of us did. Ah, thank you, beautiful. We don't name him because fuck him. It doesn't matter. We're not bringing up his name here. And in fact, you can't bring up his name here because it's auto banned. It's auto banned here and it's auto banned in the Discord because fuck him. His bald headed hoe ass. Yep. Some of them were. Black women came at me all crazy. Hmm. Yep, yep, yep. But y'all were the real ones. Y'all were the real ones. You listened. We listen and we don't judge. You listened, you supported, right? You made it possible for this channel to continue, for this work to be published under a publishing company. Yeah, that was a big old lift I didn't anticipate having to do this year, but I genuinely would not have been able to do it without you beautiful, lovely people. So we got through a lot this year. Boy, howdy. And it's interesting to me that I had to deal with at least one hoe cake ass mofo. There were several. In 2024, something about the end of the year, just like the fourth quarter, niggas lose their minds on assistant. And I was also trying to figure out, like, if I am I even gonna keep this going? I don't know. I've never really had that question as we are, almost halfway into year 2, which is crazy to say. It's only been a year and a half that we've been here together. It feels like a lot longer than that. Feels like this conversation has been going on a lot longer than a year and a half. And even though there have been times where I'm like, I'm tired or I don't have the time or just whatever, Um, I've never, had a doubt that, I would continue to come back to this space and have lives, produce written, scripted videos for you all, get in some conversations for the culture. We had some really good ones this year that I am really grateful for, very appreciative of y'all's support. Um, yeah, it's been a doozy. It's been a doozy. I made it to the GNX tour, which seemed like an impossibility. Still can't believe that happened. Yeah, it's just it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. That was 2025. Was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Christmas was, I think, rough for everybody because whether you celebrate or don't celebrate, you have your own muscle memory for that time of year. Whether it's being in a vegetative state or being with family, it doesn't really matter. We all have our own muscle memory for that time of year, and it definitely felt like that was interrupted. It, at the very least energetically, if not financially for people this year. That we just kind of came into Christmas like, "Well, I guess we're doing it." It was we don't cancel Christmas. So I guess with everything that's going on, we still do this thing. Whether it's being a vegetable playing video games or kicking it with your friends or being with family or totally disassociating. So that was definitely rough. Um, and 2026 is not gonna be better. We're not there yet, but we're still here. We're still here. And motherfuckers who need to take L's are taking them. And I believe that that is going to continue to happen. We're never gonna be able to go back to before this time. We're never gonna be the same once we do get through this time, which isn't gonna be in 2026. It'll be years after that. But the devil is in the details. And now more than ever, people are paying attention to detail and nuance and understanding things better and increasing their own capacity to hold even just a little bit of space for a lot of the things that are impacting our lives, our families, our communities, our country, our planet. No matter what your country is, because it is not and never will be just about America. And so I deeply appreciate our global audience as well who taps into this conversation. And I hope in 2026 I can continue to expand representing those impacts here on this channel, at least a little bit. But yeah, gang, I don't know. I just felt the need to say all that there. So I said all that there. And I'm just glad we made it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Hyperbole was a moment. It was a moment. Yeah, we are. We are. We're survivors and we're witnesses. We're survivors and we're witnesses. So, what we are experiencing and living through, we're bearing witness. Every aspect of our being is bearing witness. Our DNA will be fundamentally what we pass down energetically, genetically to the generations, what our children's generation passes down from this time. It's all going to matter if they don't nuke the planet and kill us all. But we write our history every day, and we can't write it without witnessing it. And that's what we're doing. We're surviving, and it's not static, right? We could be surviving today and not surviving tomorrow. And then maybe surviving again in the future. And that's the reality. Like, none of us are marked safe, but we're still here. We're still here, and we're still feeling all of the things. And one of the things that I'm really glad that died in 2026, even if it's just you're keeping it to yourself and you're not saying it on this channel anymore, is how we started 2025, which was a lot of people saying, and people who are here today saying, I just can't, for my mental health. I just don't pay attention to those things for my mental health. And me saying to you all, respectfully and lovingly, you privileged motherfucker. You're actually fine. If you can ignore it, then you're actually okay. And so is your mental health. What about when you can't ignore it anymore? You have to make the choice before that to turn and look at it, to witness it, to see it, and to not hide behind our Western privileges of, it's just so much. Get the fuck over yourselves. And for a large part, you did. You got the fuck over yourselves. And you tapped in. And you survived that too. And when we needed to tap out, we tapped out. Balance. We don't control the shit side of the scale. It will always be there. But the other side of the scale, that's ours. We decide what goes on there. We decide what comes off of there. So together we did what we could throughout this year, and we're going to continue to do what we can throughout 2026. Yeah. I hope the year kicks off with a motherfucking bang. I really do. And I hope we get to stay on their necks. Because that's the only way we get to what's next. Princey says, Happy New Year. He thinks y'all are swell. Hello, beautiful. It's good to see you. Oh, thank you, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Yep. When you can't deal, spin the block when you can. Just don't let the ops off the hook. That's what matters. So, bravo to all of you. A sacred motherfucking high five to everybody who is here. High five. I'm bulletproof. I might see you tomorrow. I might not. But I will see you again this week. For sure. It just might not be tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day or evening, wherever you are in the world. Be gentle with yourselves. Take good care of yourselves. Don't let these hoes phase you, okay? Don't let these hoes phase you. You got 1 day left. Yeah. So thanks for hanging out with me. This is almost 3.5 hours. It was good to see you all. Shout out to everybody in the replay gang, and I will see y'all soon. Peace.